Hello Collective, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you all are doing well. Thank you all so much for the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. I really do appreciate you all being here. We're going to get into this message and see what Spirit has for you today. Spirit, what is the message for the collective? What do they need to know about this masculine energy? Okay, so we are starting off with the Five of Swords. Collective. This is interesting because immediately with this Five of Swords, I'm picking up some type of mental conflict, like somebody is going back and forth with themselves. This feels like a masculine who is trying to figure out what move he needs to make concerning you, and I don't necessarily feel like this is him fighting with you. I feel like this is him fighting with himself. There's something here about this person not wanting to lose. That's what I'm getting. This masculine does not want to lose when it comes to you. And I don't even mean that in a bad way yet, because I need more cards before I go there. But it's almost like he feels like there is something at stake. Like if he does not do something, if he doesn't make some type of move, somebody else could come in and take an opportunity that he feels belongs to him. Tell me more, Spirit. Because this person is thinking a lot. I'm getting somebody replaying conversations. Maybe thinking about something they said to you, something they didn't say to you, how they handled a situation. It's almost like, did I mess this up? That's the energy. But at the same time, I feel like this is somebody who has pride. So even if he is thinking that, he may not necessarily show you that he's thinking that. He could appear very calm, very detached, like everything is fine. But mentally, no. This person is not completely at peace when it comes to you, and I feel like the reason why is going to come out in the next few cards because there is something about you that this person does not want to give up. He does not want to walk away empty-handed. And I keep hearing that. He does not want to walk away empty-handed. Okay, Spirit, tell me more about this Five of Swords. What exactly is this masculine fighting for when it comes to the collective? Because I feel like we're about to find out that this is much more serious than what he is showing on the outside. Okay, and we have the Hermit in reverse. Collective, see, this is what I mean. Because with this Hermit coming out in reverse, I feel like this person has been trying to stay in his own little world when it comes to you. Like he has been thinking, processing, maybe even pulling away and telling himself that he needed time to figure things out. But I don't think that space is helping him anymore. That's what I'm getting. If anything, the more distance there has been between you and this masculine, the more he has had to sit with the possibility that you might actually continue your life without him. And I feel like that is bothering him. Because what he is fighting for here is his place in your life. It's not just your attention, it's not just wanting you to respond to him or wanting to know that you still care. This feels deeper than that. It's almost like this masculine thought he had more time. Maybe he thought that he could stay quiet for a little longer. Maybe he thought he could figure himself out first and then come back around. For some of you, he may have assumed that no matter how much time passed, the connection between you would still be sitting there waiting for him. But something feels different now, and I think he can sense that. You may not be giving him the same energy you used to give him, you may not be as emotionally available, you may simply be focused on yourself, but whatever this is, it has him questioning whether he waited too long. Because now I'm getting this energy of, what if somebody else gets there before I do? And there's that Five of Swords again, that fear of losing. He's looking at his own behaviour now, his pride, his silence, the times he could have said something and didn't. The moments where he may have acted like he didn't care as much as he actually did. And now he's wondering if all of that created an opening for somebody else. Okay, because this Hermit in reverse also feels like somebody who doesn't want to stay disconnected anymore. He's getting tired of being on the outside of your life looking in. And I feel like he doesn't just want another opportunity with you. He wants security. He wants to know that if he comes back into this connection, you're not going to disappear from his life again. Which is interesting because the next energy coming through is showing me why the idea of you becoming completely unavailable to him is affecting this masculine way more deeply than he would ever want you to know. Okay? And now we have this Page of Swords in reverse. Collective, this is interesting, because this is giving me somebody who is trying very hard not to let you know how much attention they are actually paying to you. Like, he may not be speaking, he may not be asking questions, he may not be directly coming toward you yet, but mentally, I feel like he keeps circling back to you. And with this Page of Swords in reverse, it's almost like the more he tries to shut those thoughts down, the more curious he becomes about what is happening in your life. Who are you talking to? What are you doing? Are you still thinking about him? Have you moved on emotionally? And I don't necessarily mean that he is literally watching everything you do. For some of you, maybe he checks in from a distance, but more than anything, this feels like somebody who cannot settle his own mind because he doesn't know where he stands with you anymore. That uncertainty is getting to him, because I feel like he has tried to distract himself. He may have thrown himself into work. He may have spent time around other people. For some of you, he may have even tried to entertain another option and tell himself, okay, I can just move forward. But then something happens. A song, a conversation, some random moment during the day. And suddenly he is thinking about you again. That's what I'm getting. And what's interesting is, I don't even think he is always replaying specific things that happened between you. Sometimes he is remembering how he felt around you, your energy, the way you spoke to him, the way you made him feel seen or understood, and that is much harder for him to replace. Okay, because now I understand why this is starting to feel almost addictive. It's not necessarily that this masculine cannot function without you. It's that he became accustomed to the way this connection made him feel. And when he tries to find that same feeling somewhere else, something is missing. So now he is comparing. Whether he realizes he is doing it or not, he is comparing other interactions to what he experienced with you. And they're not hitting the same. That's the energy. Which is why this Five of Swords is starting to look different to me now. At first, it looked like pride. It looked like somebody who simply did not want to lose. But underneath that, there is attachment. There is somebody who has gotten emotionally used to your presence, and now that he cannot easily access that presence, he is realizing how much it affected him. And I feel like the next cards are going to make something very clear. Because there is a difference between this masculine wanting access to you again, because he misses you, and this masculine deciding that he wants to create something permanent with you, so he never has to sit in this uncertainty again. Okay, and we have the Star in reverse. Wait a minute, collective, this is actually saying a lot. Because with the Star in reverse, I feel like this masculine is starting to lose confidence in the idea that he can just leave this connection where it is and somehow everything will work itself out later. That's what I'm getting. There was almost this assumption before that there would always be another opportunity, another conversation, another chance to come back around. But now, I don't think he feels as secure in that anymore, and that is making him think differently about you. Because this doesn't feel like somebody who just wants to reconnect, have a conversation, feel better for a little while, and then go right back into the same uncertainty. No, he wants to know where this is going. He wants something that feels established, something that feels established, and honestly he can actually rely on. I wasn't expecting that to come through this strongly yet. Because the Star in reverse can speak to that loss of faith, that feeling of, what if what I wanted is no longer available to me? And I think that question is pushing this masculine to confront something he may have avoided before. What does he actually want with you? Not next week. Not just the next time he sees you, long term. Because for some of you, this is somebody who may have been uncomfortable with labels before. He may have delayed making something official. He may have wanted the connection but still wanted enough space where he didn't have to fully define it. But now that he can imagine you no longer being there, that freedom doesn't feel so appealing anymore. It's almost like he is realizing that if he wants you in his future, he has to actually put you in his future. He can't keep assuming you're going to place yourself there. And for different people, that permanence is going to look different. For some of you, it's exclusivity. For some, it's living together. For some, this masculine may be thinking much further ahead than that: marriage, family, building something together. But the common energy is security. He wants the question mark removed. And that is such an interesting reversal, because the possibility of losing you is forcing him to become clear about something he may have stayed unclear about for a long time. He wants something that says, "This is mine. This is where I belong. This is where you belong." Okay? And I want to be careful with that wording, because there is something else underneath this. Wanting permanence is one thing, but I'm also starting to pick up this slightly territorial energy around you. Like, part of why he wants this connection secured is because the thought of somebody else having the place beside you that he believes should be his. Collective. I don't think he handles that thought very well at all. Okay, and we have the Seven of Cups. Collective, this actually makes sense. Because with this Seven of Cups, I feel like a lot of what is bothering this masculine right now is what he does not know. He doesn't know what options you have. He doesn't know who may be interested in you. He doesn't know whether somebody has already started giving you the attention that maybe he should have been giving you. And his mind is filling in the blanks. That's what I'm getting. It's almost like once this masculine starts thinking about you moving forward, he doesn't just imagine one possibility, he imagines all of them. Who is talking to you? Who is making you laugh? Who is showing up consistently? Has somebody caught your attention? Are you starting to see somebody differently? And I feel like this is where that territorial energy starts coming through, because he knows that somebody else could potentially recognize what he recognized and actually do something about it. Okay, because that's the part that really bothers him. It's not only the idea of you having options, it's the idea that one of those options could give you what he hesitated to give you. Consistency, clarity, security. And then what? Now he has to sit there knowing that somebody else benefited from the lesson he learned too late. And there's that Five of Swords again. Because remember, from the beginning, I kept getting that this masculine did not want somebody else coming in and taking an opportunity that he feels belongs to him. But I want to be careful here, because feeling like somebody belongs with you is not the same thing as having the right to control them. And I think that is part of his internal conflict. There is genuine emotion here, there is genuine attachment, but there is also ego. There is a part of him that looks at this connection and thinks, that should be me. If you're receiving somebody's attention, that should be me. If somebody is building something with you, that should be me. If somebody gets to have a future with you, he feels like that should be him. And the Seven of Cups makes me feel like he is imagining all these different scenarios, and the more he imagines them, the more uncomfortable he becomes. Because he cannot control which direction you choose, and that is probably the hardest part. So when I say he wants security with you, I mean he wants something undeniable. Something established between the two of you, where he does not have to wonder whether you can simply choose another path tomorrow. But underneath all of this possessiveness, collective, I'm starting to see something much softer, because the next energy feels like it is exposing the fear beneath the ego, and I don't think this masculine would ever enjoy admitting just how vulnerable that fear actually makes him feel. Okay, and now we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Collective, there it is. Because this feels like somebody who knows there was an opportunity here that he did not fully act on. Something could have started. Something could have moved forward. Something could have been handled very differently. And I feel like he knows that. That's what I'm getting. With this Ace of Wands in reverse, there is this feeling of hesitation. Delayed action. Wanting something, but not moving when the opportunity was actually there. And now he is looking at you like, what if I missed my chance? Okay. Because I don't think his deepest fear is simply that another masculine could come into your life. I think his deeper fear is that you could get to a place where it genuinely does not matter whether he comes back or not. That's different. You could be happy, you could be focused, you could be building your own life. And you could still have feelings about what happened between the two of you without needing anything from him anymore. And I think that possibility really shakes this person. Because for some of you, He may have believed that the door would always remain slightly open, like even if there was distance, even if he took his time, even if he didn't say everything he needed to say, there would still be something there for him whenever he decided he was ready. But now your energy feels different. You may be calmer, less reactive, more selective. Maybe you're not trying to get answers from him anymore, and ironically, collective, I feel like the less you are reaching toward him, the more clearly he is seeing your value. Because now regret is coming into this. He is thinking about the moments where he could have moved forward and didn't. Things he could have said, ways he could have shown you that this mattered. And I keep getting this feeling of somebody realizing something after the pressure has already changed. Like, why didn't I do that when I had the chance? And here is the vulnerable part. I don't necessarily think this masculine is afraid of being alone. He may know how to be alone. He may know how to distract himself. What he is afraid of is having to live with the knowledge that he had something he cannot easily replace. And he let it slip through his hands. That is what hurts his pride. But it also hurts somewhere much deeper than pride. And I feel like this Ace of Wands in reverse is becoming a turning point. Because he knows thinking about what he should have done is not going to change anything. At some point, he has to act. And the next energy feels like he is seriously considering exactly that. A conversation, a message, some type of move that lets you know he is no longer comfortable leaving this connection where it is. Okay, and now we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Collective, this is interesting because this feels like somebody who is very aware that an opportunity can be lost if it is not handled properly. And after that, Ace of Wands in reverse. Yeah. I really feel like this masculine is looking at the chances he has already had with you, and realising that he cannot keep assuming another one is guaranteed. That's what I'm getting. Because the Ace of Pentacles is about something tangible, something you can actually build on. And in reverse, it feels like he knows there has been a lack of follow-through somewhere. Maybe there were words without enough action. Maybe there was interest but no real foundation. Maybe he made you feel like something was going to happen and then didn't give you anything solid enough to trust. And now? I feel like he wants to correct that. Okay. Because this doesn't feel like somebody preparing to come toward you just to say, I miss you. That's not enough anymore. I think he knows that. For some of you, he may be thinking about what he could actually offer you. What can I do differently? How can I show the collective that I'm serious? How do I make this feel secure instead of uncertain? And I'm getting somebody rehearsing a conversation. Like he has thought about what he would say if he had the opportunity to really sit down with you. He may want to ask where you stand, whether you're seeing somebody, whether you would even consider trying again. For some of you, he wants to see you in person because he feels like a casual message would not be enough for what he actually needs to say. But there is hesitation, because he doesn't know how you're going to receive him now. Before, he may have felt like he could come toward you whenever he was ready. Now he is thinking, what if I come forward and they tell me it's too late? And that is making him very careful about his next move. But I also feel like this masculine is realizing something important. Feelings alone are not going to secure this connection. Wanting you is not enough. Missing you is not enough. Even being afraid of losing you is not enough. If he wants something real with you, he has to give you something real to respond to. Consistency, clarity, an actual choice. And collective, what is surprising me is that what he may be considering offering feels bigger than just reopening communication. This feels like somebody thinking about how to create an actual foundation with you. Something stable. Something that says, I'm not coming back just to disappear again. But there is still one question he cannot answer by himself, because he may finally know what he wants from this connection. But he has absolutely no idea whether you still want the future with him that he is only now becoming ready to build. Okay, and now we have Temperance. Collective, this is exactly what I was talking about, because Temperance is showing me that your energy is not where it used to be. There is something much calmer about you now, more balanced, more controlled. And I feel like this masculine can sense that. You may still care about him, you may still have feelings, but you're not allowing those feelings to pull you all over the place anymore. That's the difference. For some of you, there may have been a time when his silence bothered you more, his inconsistency bothered you more. You wanted answers, you wanted to know where this was going. But with Temperance, it feels like you have been learning how to sit with yourself without needing him to immediately give you that clarity. And Collective, I think that is exactly why he feels more pressure now. Because he cannot depend on you chasing the connection. He cannot depend on you keeping the door open just because the feelings are strong. He cannot assume that if he disappears, you will still be standing in the exact same emotional place when he comes back. Okay? And that changes everything, because this masculine may have been comfortable when he felt like he had more control over the timing. But now you are moving at your own pace. You are deciding what feels healthy for you, what feels balanced, what you are willing to accept, and what you are not. That's what I'm getting. So this attraction he has toward you is becoming stronger because he is seeing that you can actually choose yourself. You don't have to convince him. You don't have to prove that you are worthy of commitment. You don't have to chase him into making a decision. He is the one realizing that staying undecided could cause him to lose the opportunity completely. And for some of you, that is why his mind is moving towards something more permanent. Because an undefined connection may have worked before, it may have allowed him to feel safe. But I don't think that works with the version of you that he is dealing with now. If he wants access to your life, he may have to meet you differently, more consistently, more intentionally. And remember, collective, this is a collective reading, so everybody's situation is going to be different. But the common energy here is that you are not the one trying to hold this together anymore. He is becoming the person afraid that it could come apart. Okay. And I'm looking at what is coming next, because I feel like we're about to see exactly what this masculine means when he thinks about keeping you in his life permanently. Because whatever his idea of forever is here, I feel like it is much more intense than even I was expecting. Okay, and now we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. Collective, this is interesting because this is showing me that when this masculine thinks about forever with you, he is thinking about the exact opposite of what this connection has felt like up until now. He doesn't want the delays anymore. He doesn't want the stop and start energy. He doesn't want the mixed signals. He doesn't want to wonder when he is going to hear from you again, or whether something between you is moving forward or falling apart. That uncertainty has become exhausting for him. And I feel like this is where the permanence really comes in. Because he is not imagining another temporary moment with you. He is imagining stability, being able to call you his person, knowing where he stands with you, knowing that when he wakes up tomorrow, this connection is still there. And for some of you, this could absolutely be somebody thinking about living together, building routines together, making plans that go beyond the next conversation or the next date. For some of you, yes, this could even be marriage or some type of formal commitment. But the strongest thing I'm getting is certainty. He wants certainty with you. Okay? And that brings me all the way back to that Five of Swords. Because this whole reading started with somebody who was afraid to lose. Then we saw him trying to detach. We saw him wondering about your options. We saw the jealousy. We saw the regret. And now we're seeing what he actually thinks would make that fear stop. He wants to know that you are choosing him, and that he is choosing you. That's what bound feels like here. Not controlling you, not trapping you, but creating something so established between the two of you that he no longer has to live in this constant question of whether you could disappear from his life. And I also understand that addictive energy a little differently now. I don't think this is only about wanting to be around you physically. It's the way he feels when the connection between you is good. Maybe you make him feel understood. Maybe you challenge him. Maybe there is a peace he associates with you. Maybe he feels more alive around you. Whatever it is, he has tried to find that feeling elsewhere and has realized that it is not easy to recreate, and that realization has made the idea of permanently losing you feel much more serious. But collective, here is the question, because wanting you this strongly is one thing, imagining forever is one thing, being afraid to lose you is one thing, but is all of that intensity actually enough? Or is this masculine finally understanding that if he wants the forever he keeps imagining with you, he is going to have to become somebody who can actually sustain it? Okay, and now we have the 10 of Swords. Collective, I feel like this is the clarification, because this 10 of Swords is showing me that something about the old way this connection has been functioning cannot continue. That's what I'm getting. The uncertainty, the pride, the silence, the overthinking, the fear of who is going to lose and who is going to win. At some point, all of that has to end if this masculine actually wants something lasting with you. Because feelings are not the problem here. I think we have established that. This person feels a lot, probably more than he has been comfortable admitting, but feeling intensely about somebody does not automatically mean you know how to build something healthy with them. Okay, and I think he is realizing that. If he wants you in his life permanently, he cannot keep approaching this connection from that 5 of Swords energy. He cannot treat love like something he has to win. He cannot wait until he feels threatened by losing you and then suddenly decide to show up. There has to be consistency. There has to be honesty. There has to be an actual willingness to be vulnerable and say, this is what I want and this is what I am prepared to do about it. Because otherwise it's just emotion. And collective, you do not have to lower your standards simply because somebody feels strongly about you. You don't. His attachment to you does not make the decision for you. His fear of losing you does not mean you owe him another opportunity. That part still belongs to you. And I think that may actually be this masculine's biggest realization. He may have spent so much time trying to decide what he wanted that he never really considered that eventually you would get to decide too, and now he is looking at the possibility that you may no longer be waiting for him to make up his mind. That is what changes everything. Because I do believe this connection has become deeply embedded in his emotional world. He has tried to distance himself. He has tried to think his way out of it. He has imagined other possibilities, and somehow he keeps coming back to you. That is why this feels so difficult for him to let go of. That is why his mind is moving toward permanence. But the 10 of Swords says the old version of this connection has reached its limit. If there is going to be a future here, it has to be different, not just more intense. Different, and I feel like that is the final message. This masculine may want forever with you, but now he is learning that forever is not something you secure because you are afraid to lose someone. It is something two people have to choose, build, and continue choosing. And collective, whether he is ready to do that or not, you still get to decide what kind of love gets to stay in your life.